All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and the seven ways to reach the still one surpass, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May the experience of happiness be separate from suffering, and the seven ways to reach them in the still one surpass, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dala Damwar Sipe Da, no Parasipe Ge, Tarba Dan Dam Je Jembe Barde, Jubar Seba Dam Je Je So Sebe, Manam Gada Nyambe Zenje Dam Je Dewa Dan De, Dongara Dan Ja, Yurde Lana Me Ba Yanda Bara Zobe Sanjo Rumbo Je Do Barasa. Da Sandra achieving like dreaming, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. We take refuge in the kind of rule Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadams. We take refuge in the excellent exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Nagas, Dakinis, and the Dhamma gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Enter I in the heart of enlightenment. I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and the likewise in the example of Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas invested in enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path. True for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to the Bodhicitta, and apply myself to accomplish each stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge under enlightenment is reached by the merit of generosity and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness under the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in economic, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at the present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samantabhara's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind, are posted through them, multiplying my body as many times as the atoms of the earth. In each atom I visualize as many Buddhas as their atoms surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus all spaces filled with the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, honoring oils, manifesting like indifferent ground incense. I make offering to them, fine garment, and perform the purpose for the highest moon, and arrange the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and the most extensive offerings and offer them with the great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantabhara. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas and the 10 directions of the great Bodhisattva and the Pakshika Buddhas, those who have entered Aharaksha, those who have entered the path of Aharaksha, and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the hearts the way of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions, leading them gradually to the enlightened states. I supplicate those Buddhas intending passing into Parinirvana to living long for as many eons as they are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseech, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water, and the strew of the flowers. It is adorned with the Meru, the spirit mountain, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. As a Buddha fair, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha first. To the Lama who possesses the three kayas, I offer the altar in the sacred offerings with my body, worth, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Om Guru Rena Mandala Benza Manga Samandra Savarena Samaya Hong. I echo refuge on the of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 words. You are the victor of Arjadara Vidwado. I bow at the feet of Father Jigni Sungong. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassion one grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of mind. Please stand aware of the Dharma of the two vehicles and the combination according to disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, fill of clouds of two words and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has a compassion for beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara. Like a thunderclap, he wakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma. Through the 60th branch of Haramana's speech, he wears the wisdom silver to cause settling of suffering, to dispel the darkness of confusion. And the Bodhisattva form is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels, and perfect in the body of knowledge. I supplicate you, Majeshri, adorned by the 112 Sons of Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Wangeshoram, Om Wangeshoram, Om Wangeshoram, Om Wangeshoram, Om Wangeshoram. You who are the perfect youthful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and dispel the darkness of all ignorance, I pause before you in the press to Manjushri. Yone Gulin Changwai Po, Yishi Drume Rabdumba, Jiktin Tumo Mensarwa, Jambar Yangla Sansar Tu. Okay, next Namo Guru. So, who going to sing? Then you're going to sing the Namo Guru?
I'm happy to sing it unless someone else would like to.
I think you go for it, B.
Okay, great. In the vast sky of the glorious Dharmadhatu, without boundary nor center, you pervade all dharmas. Remembering again and again, Vajradhara, the Dharmakaya, I supplicate you with one point in mind, full of yearning. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Clouds gather in the east or the land of Sahor, billowing mists of blessings arise, remembering again and again Tilo Prajnabhadra. I supplicate you with one point in mind, full of yearning. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Red lightning flashes over Push, Pahari in the east. You wonder when 12 trials for the sake of Dharma. Remembering again and again, learning Mahapandita Naropa. I supplicate you with one point in mind, full of union. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. The turquoise dragon thunders in the south over Drobulam. You translated the teachings of the hearing lineage, remembering again and again Dima Balosa. I supplicate you with one point in mind, full of yearning. I'm full of yearning. Well, Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. A gentle rain is falling in the highlands of the Lachi snow range. Your instructions flow together into a lake. Remembering again and again Gloria Sherpa Dorji. I supplicate you with one more mind, full of yearning. Yes, Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Oh, Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. The earth is soaked in the east, in the Dalgagampo hills. Stream of the waters of clear light. Remembering again and again the Lord King of Physicians. I supplicate you with one point in mind, full of yearning, yearning. Will Guru grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you? Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Should sprout in the land of Fagmodru. You reveal the treasure of profound secret tantra. Remembering again and again Lord Self-Born Buddha. I supplicate you with one point in mind, full of yearning. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. The 6 grains ripen in the north, in the region of Triku. The 6 grains pervade all 6 realms of beings. Remembering again and again the kind lords of Dharma. I supplicate you with one point in mind, full of yearning. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. On the crown of my head, on a sun and a moon seat, sits my kind root Guru, inseparable from Vajradhara. Remembering again and again my kind root Guru, I supplicate you with one pointed mind, full of yearning. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you. Guru, grant your blessing so that I may be realized like you.
Thank you, Benny.
Thank you, Kempo. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Everyone can see it?
Looks
Yeah.
good.
Okay. What is this? We're starting here, yeah. Above the crown of my head, upping a lotus and the moon is gypsy Jepadorje. The color of his body is clear blue, and he wears white cotton. The locks of his hair are turned outwards. His right hand is held close at his right ear. His left hand is in the resting in equanimity mudra, holding a school cup. Rolling with your expense of the turbulent 5 legs of primordial wisdom, utterly blazing with majestic brilliance. Resounding with melodies invisibly Vajra song. Through your compassion, think of me with love. Bless me to attain the 5 kayas and the 5 primordial wisdoms. Bless me to meet with the inner face of the way things are. Bless me so that discursive thoughts arise as meditation. Bless me so that I may bring negative convictions into the path. Bless me so that negative actions, misdeeds, and obscurations are purified. Bless me so that the purify of the will are severed. Bless me so that I will generate revelation to samsara. Bless me so that I will accomplish the rainbow body and the conchagra. Ranga jevara bedeng jeze jeba dorje ne kondong hosa regasu vara jinda soba ye 사예 ninje 대가된 용배냥야 두열함 이제옹안 주괴롱 제제랍드 바월요 영매도jen그르야인도 오제 달라 세공 긍아 이싱아도 진지로 엘로라야야와 진지로 Nando Gomden Jawar Zinjilo Jingye Lamde Longwar Zinjilo Lenge Dede Navar Zinjilo Tawai Korsa Jubar Zinjilo Wai Shen Loi Jewa Sinji Lo Jale Karajun Rabar Sinji Lo Ong Guru Asan Benza Ong Guru Asan Benza Om Guru Hasan 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 Benza Om Ke Tu Je Ja Je Rai San Dong Yin Je Mo Do De Je Bong Jong Ba Ser Je Lam Bo Ta Ver Je Pe Ge Sha Je Ja Pe Sha Lai So Wan De Tu Je Ja Je De Lo Na Ro Ma Ba Na La Chi Je Gam Bo Ba Ba Mo Ju Ba Jar Wan Di Gong Pe Ga Je La Ma Nam Lai So Wan De Ru Ming Chi Je Yin Je Bo Dang Som san je gen je ngo nye rang sem chi ge ngo son dong de be za ve lan me sha lai so wan de. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're going to go to the Song of Realization, Milarepa. So, do you remember any one page?
Page 20, Kempo, the bottom, the last chapter on 7, 8, and 9.
So they're up on the Pigon, right? With the 7 companions come near to Milarepa, correct?
That's correct. We're upon the pigeon, yes.
Okay, so we are in we have 2, I think, today. So this is the older one. Last week we not finished this chapter. So Milarepa went back to, actually he was in the region of the India, Nepal, Tibetan borders. So he went back to Tibet. And then there this pigeon or pigeon, right? Pigeon, so the bird.
Pigeon Kepala.
Okay, pigeon.
Yes, sir.
For him the path and the second Mambalet and doing some offerings to Milarepa. So then Milarepa recognized they are not human being, but some other, just respect to him. So he wanted to check who they are. And then that's why the first song he sang, no. So then they come back again. This pigeon has with the 7 companions come near to Milarepa. So they all bowed to him and circled him many times. They are circumambulate and bowed down to the Milarepa. As the first birds had done before, Milarepa thought these pigeons must be no me, so not human being. I shall ask them and see whether they will tell the truth. So Milarepa wanted to know who they are. They're going to tell the truth or not. So he said, who are you and why do you come here? The pigeons then broke the spear and displayed their rare form as female devas. So they show the form body. It's a show the form body has become their goddess. And their leader said, so they have one of the leader, we are the angel maidens of heaven. So they be in the heaven, God realm, and kind of a goddess. So because we have great faith in you, so they say we have very strong devotion to you. We come here to learn the Dharma from you. So they say they wanted to know the Dharma from Milarepa. We beseech you to give us the instructions. So they request the teaching from us Milarepa. And so now this, Milarepa has already have realized, and then all these different kind of beings come to receiving the teachings. So usually, who have achieved enlightenment and have realized, so their, perception is different than our ordinary perception. So we see only the, human beings receive teaching from them, not any other beings. But these beings has already realized, so they have a different kind of beings come to receiving teaching from them. And that's why Milarepa, has also goddess come to, respect offerings and ask teaching, request teaching to Milarepa. So now Milarepa going to share this teaching to them. So next singer.
I think it's me. Oh, one dress transformation body of my great Guru. Pray kindly grant me your grace, wave my Guru. You a great charming maidens of heaven who appeared now in pigeon form. Your spell was fine and in conformity with Dharma. If you maidens of heaven wish to practice the white Dharma of Buddha, please remember this song. Through worldly happiness and pleasure seem delightful and pleasing, they soon will pass away. Though high-ranking ladies are proud and exultant in their lofty dignity, what refuge and shelter do they have to dwell in the fiery home of samsara? Sometimes seems pleasant, but's mostly misery. If a well-endowed and well-loved son has no self-respect and makes no effort, his father will meet distress. If a good disciple commits evil deeds, he'll fall into samsara, no matter how superb his guru is. You maidens of heaven, conjurers of pigeons. It's easy for you to ask for Dharma, but hard to have deep faith in it. You should remind yourselves of the inevitable misfortunes connected with the worldly joys, the pains and miseries of this life. You should regard as friends leading you toward nirvana. As for me, I'm grateful. The misfortunes I have met. Oh, my friends, bear this in mind. Do the same. As for me, I'm grateful for the misfortunes that I have met. Oh, my friends, bear this in mind and do the same, and do the same, and do the same.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, so this song sing song of Milarepa, sharing to this goddess. His main point is he sharing them is impermanent. So the his thing is here is though worldly happiness and the pleasure seem delightful, but we see the big great samsara and the pleasing that soon will pass away. It's going to finish, it's impermanent change. Though high-ranking ladies are proud and exultant in their forty of dignity. So the point, we see that generally people we see, oh, is great, look perfect, they has kind of everything. But actually look closely, everyone has problems. Nothing is perfect there. What we're seeing, appear to, they're showing, and the true is different. So this goddess shows like perfectly to Milarepa, but Milarepa knows they are not perfect, truly. So all the samsaric being, we recognize that. See, the high, who has power, business, or worldly, whatever that has looks like great, but look closely, it's always the miserable going on inside there. So that's why Milarepa is saying is exultant in the lofty dignity. What refuge and shelter do they have? They don't have any really refuge, shelter. To dwell in the fairy home of samsara sometimes seems pleasant, but it is mostly misery. So samsara we see is many things pleasure temporarily, but look closely, but then it's all pleasure things also causes of some suffering. That's why but it is mostly is misery. If a well-adorned and well-loved son has no self-respect and makes no self-effort, his father will meet nothing but to distress. So, parents also very strong love to the kids, want happening something great, but maybe they don't have that kind of ability or just what they want. So if a disciple commits evil deeds, so then teacher has students, the teacher expectation to student has become great, good things happen and carry the lineages, something good things, but he must fall into the samsara, no matter how severe his gurus may be. So you maidens of having the conjurers of the pigeons, it is easy for you to ask for Dharma. They can ask Dharma, you very easy to ask Dharma teaching, but harder to have a deep faith in it. So Milarepa said, people has very hard to devotion. That people can ask easily Dharma teachings, request, please give me share teaching, but truly the mostly people know enough devotion. So you should remind yourselves of the inevitable misfortunes connected with worldly joys. So that part is what is okay. So you should remind yourselves of the inevitable misfortunes. We have to recognize samsara is a suffering. The pains and the misery of this life. So you should regard as friends leading you towards nirvana. As for me, I'm very grateful for the misfortunes I have made. So Milarepa, he's sharing his experience because he got so much misfortunes in his life. So that helped him become realization. So he told this goddess is like what a problem, difficulty that you have to use and for practice. And that helps become, you get a realization. It's the same as Milarepa, he said, I'm very grateful for the misfortune I have made. So when we get misfortune, we have to think about this Milarepa's instruction. And then we can also, misfortune can use to something for useful, for causes of our Dharma practice. This, all my friends, bear this in mind and do the same. So he said, same is like what I did. So take that in your mind. Milarepa said, just point is everything's impermanent. It's you and God's realm has joy, pleasures. Milarepa telling them they're also temporary and it's impermanent. And then whatever you know misfortune can meet in this life is you use that for practice Dharma. So that's he give instruction for them. The devas smart at Milarepa and said, so they're happy, I think, then told the Milarepa. We should do so. They said they're going to do. Then they made absence and circumambulate him many times. The gypsy then asked the angels, why did you come here in pigeon form? So Milarepa told them, why you come to form is a bird's form, pigeon form. They replied, you are a yogi who has not the slightest attachment to yourself, no any desire for this worldly life. So there's no Milarepa is a yogi, realizer. So he don't have any attachment in this samsara. It is only for the sake of Buddhi and the welfare of sentient beings that you have remained in the solitude and meditate without distraction. So Milarepa and practice, meditate and hold the Buddha's lineage and only benefiting for other beings. So stay in the solitude. That's this goddess see him. With our heavenly eyes, we have been able to see you. So they are having, and the goddess, they can see Milarepa's what they're doing. Because their having eyes means like goddess eye can see the, you know, what Milarepa's practice and he doing. We have been able to see you, and with respect and faith, we know come to you for Dharma. So they come to Dharma as request. But in order to conserve our rare form from sinful beings, we have transformed ourselves into pigeons. So there, they don't want to show this form, goddess form, to other ordinary beings because they can create an obstacle for them. So that's why their form body changed to the pigeons. We pray that your reverence will not be kind enough to go up into heaven with us to preach the righteous Dharma for us. So their request to, I think, Milarepa, come to the heaven to share the Dharma. But Milarepa replied. So their request, Milarepa is inviting in the heaven to share these teachings to God. As long as life lasts, I shall remain in this world to benefit sentient beings here. You must know that heaven is far from dependable. So Milarepa, he denied to go to the heaven to share the teaching. He said only he going to stay in this world, sharing the teaching for benefit others, not going to the heaven. So I shall remain in this world to benefit sentient beings here. You must know that heaven is far from dependable. It is not internal, and one should not rely on it. To be born in heaven is not necessarily a wonderful thing. So he say, even you are born to heaven is not that benefit. If you go to in the heaven, is not any essence like kind of a benefit for others. Even he go there is nothing much difference what he stay in this world. So that's why he said in the heaven also not necessarily a wonderful thing. You should pay heed and follow these instructions. So then Milarepa giving another instruction to them. Okay, next.
That will be me, Kempo.
Okay, thanks, Renato.
I bow down at the feet of my Paliodra. Oh, Father Guru, pray grant me your grace, faith, and accomplishment. You eight beauties of the Deva realm have often white rice, the wondrous fruit of Jhana. Eating my body's strengthened and my mind enlivened. As a token of my gratitude, I sing this song of Dharma to you. Now lift up your ears and listen to me carefully. Now lift up your ears and listen to me carefully, carefully. Even though one reached the highest heaven, the white deva, it has no permanent value and meaning. Lovable when touching are those But however pleasant it may seem to be, in the end comes separation. Although the bliss in heaven seems to be very great, it's merely a deceitful mirage, a bewildering hallucination. In fact, it is the very cause of return to suffering. In fact, it is the very cause of return to suffering. Think of the misery of the 6 realms in samsara. I cannot help but have a feeling of disgust and aversion, a feeling of anguish and distressed emotion. Should you intend to practice the teaching of Buddha, must take a refuge in 3 precious ones and pray to them. Sentient beings in the 6 realms you should consider as your parents. Give to the poor and offer to the Guru, for the benefit of all. Dedicate your merits for the benefit of all. Dedicate your merits, your merits, your merits. Always remember that may come at any moment. Identify your body with Buddha's body and your own voice with Buddha's mantra. Contemplate the sunyat of self-awakening. Great wisdom, and always try to be the master of your own mind.
Yes, Renato. So Milarepa give them teaching is impermanent. Also having the the goddess where they live, they also know they have pleasures, but they are it's temporary. So he's sharing the impermanent. And then here is the point is the thinking of the miseries of the 6 realms in samsara. So he's sharing the samsara is a misery, 6 realm, and the middle of the song of realization. So then he said, I cannot have but have a feeling of disgust and aversion. So a feeling of angusha and distressed emotion. Should you intend to practice the teaching of Buddha, you must take refuge in the 3 precious ones and pray to them. The Milarepa telling, sharing teaching to them is samsara is a suffering. It's very hard to think about. And that's why he asked them to take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Then pray to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Pray to them. Sentient beings in the 6 realms, you should consider as your parents. So 6 realms sentient beings is, should consider as your parents and create love, compassion, practice to other beings. Then giving to the poor and give generosity to the poor people who need, and offer to the enlightened gurus for the benefit of all. Dedicate your merit, so benefit others and dedication to good things for other beings. Always remember that death may come at any moment. So always think about impermanent. We don't know when we die, so no certainty. Everything's uncertainty. So Milarepa said, always think that. Then that helps to become, reduce the attachment and connect with the spiritual and wanted to something good things to do the future life, something benefit when we die. So that's why, always remember that death may come at any time, any moment. Identify your body with the Buddha's body. So meditate our body, form body is Buddha's form body. Identify your own voice with the Buddha's mantra. So all the voices visualize mantra. Song is mantra. Contemplate the shunyata of self-awakening wisdom. So meditate the shunyata mahamudra. And always try to be master of your mind. So try the, to the master of your mind. Our mind is our protection. So our mind is awareness is our guide. That's the Milarepa told them. You have to follow that instruction. The devils of heaven said, in ignoring being like us. So the seven of them said, we have ignorance. The klashas always follow the mind. This emotion is always with mind. Pray give us a teaching with which we can correct this fault. So they wanted to change, negative emotion, change to the spiritual correct. So they request Milarepa, how do we can change? Because we are always, due to ignorance, always have emotions with us. So don't know how to do the practice and how to go right direction, something, benefit for them. So they ask request. So we may depend upon it and practice it frequently. In response to their request, Milarepa song, so Milarepa responding to them. Okay, so next one. Okay. Virginia, you going to do? Oh,
It's Benny, I guess.
oh, Benny going to do, I see.
Benny needs help to unmute him. I don't know if the
Oh, okay.
the host can do it.
I have done that. Okay. He should be able to unmute himself, but okay.
There we go.
Yeah, you should.
I wasn't able to, but I guess someone unmuted me.
Okay.
Obeisance to Mapa, the gracious one. Pray grant me the blessing of virtuous remedy. Should you, O faithful lady, devas intend to practice the Dharma oftenly, inwardly, you should practice concentration, contemplation, renunciation of external affairs is your adornment. Bear in mind this remedy for external involvement with self-composure and mindfulness you should remain serene. Glory is the equanimity of mind and speech, or glory is a resignation from many actions. Glory is the equanimity of mind and speech. Yes, glory is a resignation from many actions. Should you meet disagreeable conditions, disturbing to your mind, keep watch upon yourself and be alert. Keep warning yourself. The danger of anger is on its way. When you meet with enticing wealth, keep watch on yourself and be alert. Keep a check upon yourself. The danger of craving is on its way. Should hurtful, insulting words come to your ears, keep watch upon yourself and be alert. So remind yourself, hurtful sounds are but delusions of the ear, delusions of the ear. When you associate with your friends, watch carefully and warn yourself. Let not jealousy in my heart arise. Not jealousy in my heart arise. Oh, 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 oh. At all times, in every way, keep watch upon yourself. At all times, try to conquer the evil thoughts within you. Whatever you may meet in your daily doings, you should contemplate its void and illusory nature. Were even 100 saints and scholars gathered here, more than this they could not say. May you all be happy and prosperous. May you all, with joyful hearts, devote yourselves to the practice of Dharma.
Thank you, Benny. Thanks very much. Next, this the song of realization is very important. Actually, we, kept the always our practice. So I'll try to explain a little bit this one. So should you be faithful lady, devas, intending to practice Dharma often? So you're telling them you wanted to practice Dharma often. So think about us. We wanted to practice Dharma often, right? So what we have to follow. This is like not Milarepa sharing to the goddess. So he's sharing for us. And we wanted to Dharma practice often. Then what we have to do? Inwardly, you should practice concentration and contemplation. The renunciation, external efforts is your adornment. So inwardly, you should practice concentration. So we have to meditate. It's shamatha. So he said, meditate shamatha, concentration and contemplation. Then also the renunciation, external effort is your adornment. We have to less, activity for samsara. Otherwise, we're going to stuck with, samsara activities, no time to practice dharma. So we just recognize and what is the good for us, and not too much, the attach fixation to the activity samsara. Then bear in mind this remedy for external involvement. So certain important reason. So we have to use, some our solution for our emotions. We have to, cultivate some solution, benefit something for reduce our emotion, something antidote for emotion. We have to cultivate our practice. Should remain serene, I think. Glory is the economy of mind and speech. So also when we talk, saying things nicely, it's not mindfully telling for others. Speech also, virtuous way, not negative way to selling things to others. Speech. Glory is the resignation from many actions. So whatever we do, usually our actions also nicely, not harming for others. Should you meet disagreeable conditions disturbing to your mind, so also sometimes we get this, we meet the disagreeable conditions, negative conditions, emotion conditions when we get. So this disturbing to your mind, emotion condition disturbing our mind, keep watch upon yourself and be alert. So our condition is dependent, because so condition is anger condition. Yeah, so we recognize and watch our anger. So try to not lose patience, control the anger. And then object is a desire object, just keep, not fixation too much, the object. That we have to keep warning yourself. The danger of anger is on its way. Then you meet with interesting word. So keep the danger of a craving is on its way. So then, of course, desire object is there. Easily, we fixation, grasping to the object. Should heartful, insulting words come to your ears. So someone going to selling negative things, also we kept, not lose our, air is not controlled. Like its areas like voices hurt us if we don't control ourselves. Someone so hearing the song's voice negative coming, so recognize the song is something, you know, that depending our individual level. So control the anger. The point is, should heart in certain words come to you, keep watch upon yourself and be alert. And so remind yourself. Heart for songs are but delusion of the air. So we recognize song is a delusion, no truly exist, impermanent. When you associate it with your friends, so we be with our friends, watch carefully and warn yourself, let not jealousy in my heart arise. So we have kind of a similar, you know, our groups together, and then easily arise jealousy to each other. So have to keep, you know, watching our mind, not let arise when we be with our friends together, no arise jealousy. When you are plied with the service and offerings, be alert and warn yourself. Then, so someone, you know, service us, someone taking care of us, so not too much pride, you know, recognize no pride. So easily, you know, we get pride because due to our ego emotions. The point is don't ego, and someone serving you, service you, and then don't create ego. So here is the point is Milarepa sharing is like, what is the object of the causes of the anger? What is the object? Jealousy. You know, what is the causes of object is pride. So that kind of he's sharing here. And we when we get in this kind of situations, so we have to watch ourselves, because we always get anger conditions object there. So when you get that conditions, we have to watch our mind. When we get jealousy condition cause object, so we have to watch our mind, not create jealousy. Yeah, so when we get condition is pride, you know, then we have to watch our mind, not create our pride. So this is like emotions condition when we get, and then that time we have to watch our mind. The point is, so what is the emotion conditions? The Milarepa mentioned about one by one. This is the emotion conditions, causes. So this come to us, and then we get this emotion is arising. So that's why we have to control our mind, watch our mind. So that's the point of this teaching. Then, so whatever situation we get, we have to meditate. Everything is a kind of more delusion and dreaming and not truly exist. Then even you talked with like 100 masters, but you cannot get more better than this kind of, you know, pit instruction suggestions. So Milarepa told them, yeah. So that's this teaching. May you all with joyful hearts devoted yourself to the practice of Dharma. Okay, so now, then the mundans of heaven were all very happy, and in their delight and satisfaction, they again turned their body into pigeon, that changed to pigeon again, and flew up towards heaven. Milarepa then ate the offer rice and set out for the Grey Rock Varjara. Conclusion. This is the story of the anger mundans in pigeon form and their offerings. So then next one. So now we have the next one. Chapter I think is 9, number 9. The glory rock Varjara inclusory. Everything to all gurus. The Jetsi Milarepa, having arrived at the Grey Rock Varjara enclosure, stay in a state of inseparation at the cedar caves. No, there was a tantric yogi at Gotang who had heard the preaching of the gypsy. So he heard gypsy Milarepa's, quality and realizations. So then he come to see the Milarepa. And become imbued with the deep faith in him. Coming to Milarepa, he said, Revered One, although I have practiced meditation for some time, I have not had the experience or earned the merit that should have result. So think about ourselves. We sometimes meditate, but could be we don't get a realization, right? Experience. So we have to think about the same as this guy. You know what? He has difficulties. We also have this same situation, difficulty. Then have not had experience and the merit that should having result. So this is a problem due to my ignorance of the proper way to practice. So then he said how to properly really meditate. And he said he practiced meditate, but he don't get any experience like, result of meditations, gaining something. So pray be kind enough to grant me the appreciated teachings. Milarepa replied, in that case, it is necessary that you should know all the essential points. Therefore, the sing for him a song, the 6 essential. So Milarepa teaching these 6 essential songs for him. Okay, so now next one.
I'll sing this one.
Okay.
The manifestations of mind of dust motes in the infinite rays of sunlight. The Lord, like yogi, knows the self-nature of these manifestations. The reality of the true nature of beings is neither produced by cause nor by conditions. The Lord, like yogi, knows the soul truth precisely and positively, even when he is faced with the threat of 100 spears, his thorough knowing view will not be shaken. Thus the Lord, like yogi, naturally subdues. All attachments are subdued. The ever-moving mind is hard to tame, even when shut up in an iron box. The Lord, like yogi, knows that all these emanations are illusions. The ever-moving mind is hard to tame, even when shut up in an iron box. The Lord, like yogi, knows that all these emanations are illusions. All these emanations are illusions.
The song is Milarepa sharing him is very important for our meditators. The manifestations of mind outnumber the myriads of dusty mortars in the infinite rays of sunlight. So we have so much thoughts. Do you have that? Yeah, see, the same as the sun, kind of dust light. So then how to take that, you know, to the use for practice and meditate. Okay, the Lord, like yogi knows the self nature of these manifestations. We have to recognize of all these different kind of thoughts is mind manifestation. So have to dissolve into the other thing is in the nature mind. The yogi's self nature of these manifestations. The reality of the true nature of beings is neither produced by cause nor by conditions. So, its nature mind is not created by any conditions. So this is that we have in the supplication self-unborn nature mind. It's Buddha's mind, the same meaning. And the reality of the true nature of being is neither produced by cause nor by conditions. Mind is no causes condition. The Lord, like yogi knows, yogi have to know self-unborn nature mind. The so true perceivably and positively. So that we have to recognize the true nature mind, because his mind is not created by the cause and the conditions. Even when he is faced with the threat of 100 spears, so then our mind is a threat of 100 spears. It's true. It's like mind consciousness. No one can stop that. The point is, even you have a weapons cannot stop the mind. Yeah. His true knowing view will not be shaking. Thus, the Lord, like yogi, naturally subdued all attachments. So yogis recognize that the mind is, I think, is not shaking, controlled, can controlled, no created by the attachment, or yogi naturally subdued all attachment. So the point is, mind cannot stop, even warpings. Only you can stop through the meditation. Yogis can control the mind. The warpings cannot control the mind. The evil moment mind is hard to tame. So mind is very hard to tame. Even when showed up in arrow box, the Lord, like yogi, knows that all these emotions are illusions. So mind is very hard to control. Even you put in the arrow box, cannot keep in there. So the yogis only can control the mind, because they knows how to do. So that's he giving the instruction to this guy. And we have to learn this. The point is, Milarepa, through the meditation, put very strong effort, we can control this crazy mind. So other, like try to follow the kind of a reserve, or follow the, your mind is not control the root. You follow the branches. The point is you cannot control this crazy mind. So that's his sharing. The disciple in us are experiences such as you have just mentioned, brought about gradually or instantaneously. Milarepa replied, where endowed people were attaining enlightenment instantaneously, average and inferior people were gradually attaining their realizations. I shall describe to you the sign of rare enlightenment, and also the sign of those experiences resembling enlightenment, but which are wrongly considered by some people to be the rare ones. So thereupon he sung the following song to explain the difference experience both rare and the force of the four stage of Mahamudra. So no Milarepa giving the song teaching again.
There we go. I bow down at the feet of the Supreme Guru. I bow at the feet of the Guru. To cling to the actuality of mind is the cause of samsara. To realize that non-clinging and eliminating self-awareness is unborn and imminent, is the consummation sign of the stage of one-pointedness. If one talks about the two-in-one, but still meditates on four. If one acknowledges the truth of karma, but still commits non-ruing, he is actually meditating in blindness and passion. Cause things as such are never found in the true stage of one-pointedness. In realizing that the non-clinging and eliminating mind is embodied in bliss and transcends all play words, one sees his mind's natures clearly as great space. This is the sign of the consummation of the stage. Move away from play words. Though one talks about the stage away from play words, still he's declaring this and that. In spite of illustrating what is beyond our words, still he is but piling words on words, words and words, or words and words. He then is the ignorant one who self-clinging meditates in the stage of away from play words. There's no such thing as this. The non-differentiation of manifestation and voidness is the Dharmakaya, in which samsara and nirvana are felt to be the same. It is a complete merging of Buddha and sentient beings. These are the signs of the stage of one taste, as many have declared. These are the signs of the stage of one taste, as many have declared. He who says that all is one is still discriminating in the stage of one taste. There is no such blindness, no. A wandering thought is itself the essence of wisdom and immanent and intrinsic, cause and effect of both the same. This is a realization of Buddha's three bodies existing within oneself. These are the consummation signs of the state of non-practice. These are the consummation signs of this stage of non-practice. Because when one talks about non-practice, his mind is still active. He talks about illumination, but in fact is still blind. But in fact is still blind. In the stage of non-practice, there is no such thing. In the state of non-practice, there is no such thing.
Thank you, Virginia. Okay, so this yogi, he asked Milarepa. So the practice meditation is, have to follow by step or just directly came to the realize. So the Milarepa told him the enlightenment is instantaneously. Some people can, who has some previous life connections. So then average and inferior people were gradually. So we have to step by step follow this practice and the teachings. Someone who has previous life connections, we talk about the Saraha and many yogis, the right way recognize like something very simple way, some condition they get and then they realize the right way. That is due to the, instantaneously practitioner who has like previous life, very strong connections. But average people have to follow by step practice. So that's why Milarepa sharing here, this talk about the four following song to explain the different experience, both rare and the fourth stage of Mahamudra. This fourth stage of Mahamudra is very important section teachings. So usually we create this, it's a big topic and teaching one by one. It takes a long day, it's like each stage you have to share at least one day. This part is very important, especially Mahamudra practitioners. You have to follow by stage of Mahamudra, is like use these four stages. And then this is the meditator's experience, four stages. So how to say this one? Maybe I'll try explain this one today or no? Or we just go to next one.
Yes, please explain, Kempo.
Really?
Please explain. Yes.
Really?
I didn't know this one coming, so I have to prepare before actually. This very important teaching. We try. I bow down at the feet of the Supreme Guru, Marpa, to cling to the actuality of mind is the cause of samsara. So it's samsara is samsara causes clinging to the actuality of mind is the cause of samsara. So mind is clinging to the object, fixation to the object. So that is the cause of samsara. So then his sharing is where the samsara is come from. Samsara is come from our mind is attached to clinging to the object. To realize that non-clinging and eliminating self-awareness. So we have to realize the non-clinging, you know, that non-clinging and eliminating self-awareness. Mind is not attached fixation to the object. Then recognize is our mind itself is non-clinging. True nature is non-clinging and free from attachment. Eliminating self-awareness. My nature is self-awareness. It's unborn and immanent. So my nature is unborn, immanent. Is the consummation thing of the stage of one-pointedness. So this is the first stage. First stage is one-pointedness. It's here followed by this song is 4 stages. The first stage is one-pointedness. What it means one-pointedness? So your mind is not clinging to the object. Then you recognize your mind nature awareness. So you embed that nature state. So then that is one-pointedness, first stage. Then that is the one-pointedness. So then next is if one talk about the two in one. So talk about the two as one means so you know it's a form and emptiness inseparable. Yeah, clarity and emptiness is inseparable. But we talk about the two is in one means form and emptiness. The two is we talk about inseparable one. But still meditate on form. So when we doing action, we don't really take two is one. We just follow the separate. Means we attach to the form. Seeing form is we don't recognize its emptiness. So, but still meditate on form. If one acknowledges the true of karma, but still commit wrongdoing. So this is the you know we not drawing correctly because we talk about it's inseparable, but it's followed by actually fixation to the form body, no recognize emptiness. And then we also talk about cause and effect, but we create negative karma, committed wrongdoing. So he is actually meditating within blindness and passion. So then who meditated this blind, you know, not really follow correctly, is doing wrong way, then that he is actually meditation within blindness and passion. Things as such are never found in the true stage of one-pointedness. So that person never ever can find one-pointedness. So what is one-pointedness is, you know, you're seeing form is empty. Emptiness is a form is emptiness, inseparable. I think so. Who have realized that it's called one-pointedness. Do you understand or no? It's kind of confused.
No, it's okay.
It's not easy to explain because it's when I look to this, song of realization, English is very hard to understand. And then when I look to Tibetan, I can think about, okay, it's easy, very easy, simple, very kind of there, but look to English, it's become more complicated for me. That's
You're
why.
you're doing beautifully, Kempo.
Okay. No. So then you need patience, and I look to Tibetan and look to English. I try to explain. Okay. So you also look carefully English. Read again when I'm looking to the Tibetan. So make sense or not? If it not make sense, ask question. So the point is here is so one-pointedness. See, one-pointedness, the meditation, one-pointedness meditation. So we have to know what means one-pointedness. Okay, first stage is one-pointedness. The one-pointedness is, we recognize our nature, true nature mind. It's a stage of, the unborn and the imminent is the consummation thing of the stage of one-pointedness. That is the one-pointedness, but we don't recognize that. It's the second verses talk about we don't recognize one-pointedness. Even we say one-pointedness, we understand, but when you meditate, you don't follow that. The point is Milarepa, he explained what means one-pointedness up there. Second is we talk about one-pointedness, but when we meditate, we practice, then we don't follow correctly because we create a delusion and separate. No one-pointed, bring no one, bring two. Yeah. And then especially we follow by, it's a form, means form is not recognized, empty, and the form is empty. Emptiness is form is inseparable. We're seeing form, the form, then we attach to the form. So song is we don't recognize the song is empty, emptiness is a song. Song is no other than emptiness. So we hear the song, we fixation to the song. So Milarepa said that cannot be one-pointed. One-pointed means cannot be have two things there, have bring into one. So song is emptiness. Emptiness is song. Song is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than song. It's one. You cannot think, when you hear the song and then you fixation to the song, that cannot be one-pointedness. So that's his sharing. I think the point is. So then next one. That's the first stage. You have to know stage of one-pointedness. Second is called is here in realizing that the non-clinging and eliminating mind is embodied in bliss and transcending all play words. One sees this mind's nature as clear as great space. This is sign of the consummation of the stage of away from play words. So this is a stage of away from play words. It's kind of like, nature mind is the same as a space. It's free from all the dualistic conceptual. We don't, if long as you follow this first verses. So free from conceptual mind, it's clarity. Is what is clarity mind is no fixation. So then that mind is core, is embodied in bliss and transcends all play words. So then it's one see his mind nature as clearly as great space. We're seeing our mind is not exist. It's the same as space, emptiness. So this is the sign of the consummation of the stage of away from the play world. So that is the called the stage of away from play world. Second one, long as you seeing your mind is empty, same as space, then you recognize your mind is it's called the stage of the away from the play worlds. But then when we practice meditate, we don't follow that way. What happens is, though one talk about the stage of away from play world, we talk about that. Still, he is declaring this and that. Declaring this is that means like fixation to this, is exist or no exist, and neither or either. So we stuck with somewhere else. No recognize is mind is the same as space, free from all these extremes. So we stuck some, when we meditate practice, our mind is stuck with existence or no existence. It's stuck with the dualistic conceptual again. Still, he is declaring that this and that is in spirit of illustrating what is beyond all words. Still, he is but pulling words on words. He then is the ignoring one who with self-clinging meditates in the stage of away from play world. So we are clinging to something, exist or no exist. We no recognize free from all the conceptual and free from all the extremes. So mind is stuck with exist or no exist or either or neither somewhere. So that person no recognize in the stage of away from play world. There is no such thing as this. So that is the second stage. First stage is single pointed oneness. Second stage is of away from play world, is free from all extremes. But when we meditate practice, we stuck with some extremes. So then this will get confused and wrong. The no differentiation of manifestation and wide worldness is the Dharmakaya. So so no is the next one, third stage. The no third stage is the no differentiation of manifestation and worldness is the Dharmakaya. So form is empty, emptiness form is everything, all this form is emptiness, it's a Dharmakaya, in which samsara and nirvana are felt to be the same. So samsara and nirvana is inseparable, not separate. Seeing form and emptiness is inseparable, it's one. So samsara and nirvana also not separate, it's one. It is a completely merging of Buddha and the sentient beings. So sentient beings, Buddha is not separate, it's one. These are the sign of the stage of one test. Is many have declared. So one test, this is called third one is one test. One test means samsara, nirvana is one test. And the ordinary beings, Buddhas are one test. It's recognized as one, not separate. So that is called one test, but we don't do that. When we meditate, we create two tests, no one test. So he who says that all is one, someone said that when we talk about everything's one, we talk that it's still discriminating, not one, discriminating. He tried to sentient beings, maybe, you know, attached to the enlightened beings, or, you know, it's seeing samsara is negative, nirvana is positive. So that's also become, you know, it's we create discriminating. We don't bring the one test together. Still discriminating in the stage of the one test. There is no such blindness. I wonder, thought is itself the essence of wisdom. Thought is wisdom, but we don't bring the thought is wisdom. Thought is negative, because we don't recognize thought is wisdom. When thought comes, thoughts create emotions, it goes negative. And who's the become, you know, one test means thought is inseparable with wisdom. When thought comes, thought's essence is wisdom. So seeing thought is not truly exist. That means thought is wisdom, but we don't recognize that. Itself is the essence of wisdom, and immanent and intrinsic. Cause and effect are both the same. This is a realization of Buddha's three bodies. Okay, so then Rochi second Tamana Nyachi second thing to you. Mumba Yita Mumba le Rochi Namjo Colony, Namjo Colony. Namdo Chi Shin Bochi, Lindop Gender Yismi. I skip some sections or no? Huh?
No, please don't skip.
Okay.
Please explain. Thank you.
So then, see, that is the part is called one test. Then here is the existing within oneself. This is the last one. These are the consummation signs of the stage of known practice. It's called known practice. Jumi sekin tani mamu go Twitter namju kolam nando nimi chigo konde chido nyato ni sanje singin dipan rochi tar simba rochi sekin tamana nyaji sekin tendi mumba yi jamu nando yi shin himbo ji nendo ni zen kozon ran chansan gomi tar simba yin gomi sekin yegasi. So this is a gomi is no meditation. The last one is no meditation of the stage of known practice. When one talk about the known practice, his mind is still active. So active means like create a section separate. He talk about elimination, but in fact is blend. In the stage of known practice, there's no such thing. It's actually known stage means they are the consummation signs of the stage of known practices existing without oneself. It's no separation, but we create a separate. So that's the, I think it's no meditation. So the point is here is talk about the 4 stages. So next time we can, use this and explain one by one more, kind of take time and then use like this more some commentary explain is more better, because this is a song of realization. Is beautiful. The teaching is performed, but very hard to explain. These 4 stages. 4 stages, very important section in the Mahamudra meditation. So sometimes we use only this 4 stages, share the teaching. It's, each stage follow the one day, talk about these stages. So that's the 4 stages. So now we do only one thing. The disciple cried, they are cried. These instructions are indeed extraordinary. So actually, this song is really performed, extraordinary, especially for who really meditate practitioners. You know, they use this method, and then the you know, free from all this obstacle and the confusions during the, you know, in the meditation experience. Many meditators attach to experience, so the free from the attachment using this song of realization is very powerful one. To have ignorant men like us, pray no instruct us on the practice of the 6 paramitas. Milarepa saying in replay, so he's saying this one again. Someone can sing this one, last one.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I bow down at the feet of the perfect Jetsun. Property and wealth are like dews on the grass. Knowing this, gladly should one give them away. It is most precious to be born a worthy, leisured human being. Knowing this, one should with care observe the precepts, as if protecting his own eyes, as if protecting his own eyes. Anger is the cause of falling to the lower realms. Knowing this, one should refrain from wrath, even at the risk of life. And even at the risk of life. Benefiting to oneself and to others can never be achieved through sloth. Strive therefore to do good deeds. Strive therefore to do good deeds. A perturbed, wandering mind never sees the truth of Mahayana. Practice therefore concentration. Buddha can't be found through searching, so contemplate your own mind until the autumn mist dissolves into the sky. Strive on with faith and determination. Buddha can't be found through searching, so contemplate your own mind. Buddha can't be found through searching, so contemplate your own mind, your own mind, your own mind, your own mind.
Thanks very much, Nick. It's our own mind. So that's 6 parameter. Very easy. So now we're going to do the dedication. Oh, we have to do the first Guru Yoga. Milarepa first. Let's finish.
You have it, or do you need me to post it?
Om Guru Hasan Benza Hong. Om Guru Hasan Benza Hong. Om Guru Hasan Varjara Hong. The enlightened body of the Jason Jepadorje, and my mind makes without duality beyond all elaboration. Like water bubble dissolving into water, giving the rest in the state without a concept. By this virtue may I safely accomplish Mahamudra. They may I establish all wandering beings without exception upping that ground. Jesen Jebai Dorje Ke Ransen Tidar Nimi Di Chala Chur Tempa Da Ming on the Nyambarja Gewan De Yen Yorda Da Saja Chempon Drubjurme Drowa Jejang Maliba Deya Salangu Barishu. Lord Mala laughing Varjara to you I pray. Lord Mala laughing Varjara to you I pray. Lord Mala laughing Varjara to you I pray. Yemalai Jebai Dorje Lai Zorwan Zo. Yemalai Jebai Dorje Lai Zorwan So. Yemalai Jebai Dorje Lai Zorwan Zo. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pamutrupa, and Lord Digompa, please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessing of all Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience, by defeating all enemies of confusion, may all who travel on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where is unborn may it rise, where is born may no decline, but it will increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that Dharma activities are far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Majeshri Devero realized the ultimate state and as did Samanta Bada, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the true unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I shall bear fruit. By this virtue collected in 3 realms, by my 7 organs in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I know sentient beings calculating and surpass perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Guru Gompa Ranashri, who is omniscient Lord of Dharma, master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation unto the end of the samsara. Shizai Gunze Gunjin Jije Jie Den Nela Wanto Jigompa. Rinjin Barje Demba Zindebar. Shiro de Sangong Benzin Joroju. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum Shu. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Kempola.
Singer.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Kempo.
you so much, Kempola.
Yes,
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sangha.
Thank you, singers. It was really beautiful. Thank you so much.
It's great.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was really
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you. Sorry, Zoom was acting a little funny with our unmuting, but we got it fixed. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Debbie.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Be safe, everybody.
Have a beautiful